Hey, what's up, people? True Techno Gamer here, and it's been a while. I know I have several videos in draft form and several ideas that I had, but this whole situation has been just a really difficult time. And believe it or not, I'm still very busy dealing with family, kids, and just everything. So I'm really sorry I have not been able to post any real new videos. And now it's been, I don't know, a few months. And you know, a lot of stuff has happened, right, since I last posted a video. A lot of stuff hit the fan with the road to PS5 talk that Sony gave around GDC in March. And then Xbox, you know, kind of doing more of their full unveil. And then we get the DualSense, the new controller for PS5, which looks awesome. And there's a lot there, and I had videos planned for all of this stuff, but I just haven't had time to really just sit down and edit everything and just get everything organized, man. You know, it's just been a tough time, so bear with me. But here we are, June 10th, the day before the scheduled and supposed PS5 Reveal Event, the full Reveal Event at least, or the first Reveal Event. And this is a big deal, so I had to take some time to just kind of share my thoughts. I wanted to capture this so I could kind of look back on it too. So going in, what do we know? We know that the event is supposedly about an hour, maybe a little more than an hour in terms of the actual event itself. We know that it's been pre-taped, so it's not an actual live stream of anything like that. And it's really meant to showcase several games that are coming out for the PS5. So it's kind of more of a games event. I don't know how much they're going to talk about the system. There's still a lot. They haven't, you know, so let's back up. Sony has been incredibly quiet, unusually quiet in a way, given that they have a new system supposedly coming out later this year. We've gotten a literally 2 Wired articles. Wired.com, Sony did some kind of a deal with them where they had some articles to talk about the system dating back to April of last year. And it was some really high points, right? Like, we knew generally the system was going to use AMD components, that the GPU was going to feature ray tracing, that they were going to be invested in 3D audio and haptic feedback on the controller, you know, the kind of, and an SSD drive, of course. And that's pretty much it. We didn't, you know, we didn't get anything real tangible and how that would really affect games. We didn't get any specs and stuff like that. And then we get the road to PS5, which was like 6 months almost between the previous Wire article and that presentation. And that presentation from Mark Cerny, system architect, right, genius guy, was really geared to like the game developers crowd. So it was really technical. It wasn't like a commercial marketing video of here's our new system and here's why it's great. It was more deep dive of, you know, here's some of the underlying design principles that went into designing the PS5. So it went over a lot of people's head. And, you know, given that it was like our first real taste, and it really was the event that gave us the specs, it was kind of weird. It wasn't terribly well received by the average, you know, the average consumer. So this is the first time that we're supposed to be getting like that marketing spiel that, you know, this is why the system is great. This is the games that you're going to be playing. So this is a big deal. Everyone in the industry is gearing up, ready for this. IGN, Jeff Keighley, they're doing pre-shows, and all the other, you know, gaming blogs, they're going to be doing pre-shows the hours before, and it's already trending worldwide. You know, it's pretty crazy. So I'm excited. I'm excited because this is like the first real glimpse in the PS5. Oh, of course, we got the epic Unreal 5 introduction trailer that was running real time on PS5. And that left a great first impression. It looked amazing, definitely looked way above anything we see currently, and it really showed what the potential is for next gen. So that was a good first impression, and it showed, again, that the PS5, you know, is the real deal, can do some real stuff. So what does that really look like for games? Well, we'll find out. So what do I expect to see? Well, again, they said that it's going to be a largely game showcase. I would expect that we're going to see some first-party games from Sony's first-party studios. In particular, probably from Guerrilla Games, makers of Killzone and Horizon. The biggest unkept secret is that Horizon Zero Dawn 2 has been in development for quite some time, and it's going to be a PS5 exclusive. I think with the technology in PS5, that will be awesome, and I'm pretty sure we're going to see that. And yeah, there's been a lot of kind of rumors, kind of supposed leaks, and I think some of them may be true, some of them may not be true, and I think there might be some surprises that didn't leak. But Horizon Zero Dawn 2 from the first party is definitely there. What is God of War developers doing? Obviously, they're working on the sequel to God of War. Are we going to see that? I think it's still kind of early. I don't know. Maybe we get a trailer. Maybe we just get some kind of tech demo from those guys, and some like a Kratos model or some hint of what the next God of War could be. But I don't really think we're going to see any like real gameplay or even like a real-time trailer. But maybe we get some word from those guys. I think Spider-Man 2 and Insomniac Games, which is now a fully owned Sony subsidiary, I think it would be cool. Spider-Man 2 is a game that really could benefit from the technology that the PS5 is going to bring, the SSD drive in particular, the advanced CPU, and also the controller features, right? But and ray tracing as well. I think like the combination of an SSD drive and ray tracing can alleviate almost everything wrong with the first game from a technical standpoint. The building, reflection, stuff like that, was kind of crude. And yeah, just trying to deal with Spider-Man swinging and streaming in the entire city at all times was pretty tricky. All of that can be fixed with the PS5 technology. So that'll be pretty awesome. Maybe kind of early, I think, for Spider-Man 2 to really show anything. Again, why not show the infamous leaked Spider-Man demo that showed how fast it can load on the PS5, right? A scene that took 8+ seconds to load on the PS4 Pro, I think it was 8 seconds, something like that. Loaded in like 0.8 seconds on the PS5, which is pretty crazy. So maybe just show a piece of that or some newer version of that. That would be cool. But there's also talk that Insomniac has been working on like a new Ratchet and Clank game, which would make sense because the last Ratchet and Clank game was just like the Ratchet and Clank kind of remake. It's kind of like a reimagining, and it was awesome. It was great. But it was like, 2014, I think, 2015, somewhere around there. So it's been a while. So I think that there's a good chance we'll see that. And I think, again, that could be awesome on PS5 as well. We'll see some third-party stuff, of course. I think we'll see the staples from Call of Duty, Madden, FIFA, maybe some stuff like that from EA. I don't know if they're going to touch on Battlefield or not. I know Battlefield is not coming out this year. It's supposed to be next year at the earliest, so we'll see. There's talk of like a lot of the Japanese studios. So there's some like juicy rumors about Resident Evil 8 being shown. That would be pretty interesting. There also is rumors that Sony has kind of locked up the rights to a Silent Hill reboot or remake of sorts, which would be, if it's in the vein of like that PT demo from PS4 days, which was like really well received, looked really awesome, but then got canceled, unfortunately, because of basically turmoil within Konami. That would be awesome if they kind of have that and can continue something like that in that vein. And just as an IP, I think that would be pretty cool. Gran Turismo, there almost certainly going to be something Gran Turismo there, whether it's a PS5 port of GT Sport or whether a full-on Gran Turismo 7, which is possible, right? Because there's been talk that Gran Turismo 7 has been in development for quite some time. There was some talk that it was still going to be on PS4, but I wouldn't be surprised, even if it is kind of on both. It may be, that it's on both, but I would love to see like a PS5 exclusive Gran Turismo 7. Gran Turismo has like never been ready near launch, right? They always show it at the reveal for a PlayStation console, but we don't see it for usually like 2 to 3 years into that console cycle. So it would be great if like they have GT7 ready for 2021, for example, even and they can show something now. So that'd be cool. Great. So what I hope that we get more from the system about the system though. There's still so much that we don't know about the system. And the services and the features and stuff like that. How is the controller really going to be used? How is the haptic feedback going to really be used? How is the 3D audio going to really affect things? And honestly, the bigger thing for me is backwards compatibility. What is Sony's backward compatibility strategy? I think at this point, it's not new for Sony to just say, oh yeah, PS4 games will work. Right? PlayStation has been doing that since the PS2. PS2 came initially with full compatibility for PS1 games. PS3 initially came with full compatibility for PS1 and PS2 games. People forget that. So that's not new, but it just kind of played the games straight. In this day and age, in 2020, and what we're seeing from Microsoft and now with like the whole emulation scene on the PC, we want to see enhanced versions of those previous games. And Sony has had a bunch of patents, indicating that they've been working on ways to like automatically enhance games and kind of just replace assets in games dynamically at runtime, and these kind of crazy tech. And if they got anything like that working, where you can just pop in or download a PS1 game and it'll automatically like up-res the textures and run at a high resolution, like that will be beyond awesome. I hope that they've been working on that, and we might not see that at launch, of course, but that is working on it, and we will see that within a few years at a cycle. But even if they can talk about that and just mention that and show an example of that at this event, that will blow people's minds, and I think that would be a huge trump card. Especially if they could do that at a hardware level somehow. But if not, I just want to know, if we buy The Last of Us Part 2, which comes out next week, right, for PS4, are we going to just be able to take that same version and just play it on PS5? And if we do, is it just literally just playing the exact same PS4 code on PS5? Or are we getting just, again, being able to just plop that on PS5, and now we're getting like a 4K enhanced version of it on PS5, right? With much faster loading, taking advantage of the SSD, or is there going to be like an actual specific PS5 port, right? That's going to have to be developed for that. Same thing with Ghost of Tsushima. I would go back and play Spider-Man Enhanced, Days Gone, which actually was a really good game. I really enjoyed that game. If you haven't, check it out on PS4. But it was so technically constrained by the PS4. You can see it, especially when it came to the loading. Tons of pop-in. The speed of the motorcycle moving through the environment was really, really slow. It was noticeably slow. You have nitro and all this stuff, and you just seem like you're just stuck in mud all the time. That kind of stuff is what the PS5 can alleviate. And I would love to see some kind of a remake, or not remake, but remaster for PS5 of Days Gone and Spider-Man. Of course, God of War and Horizon Zero Dawn. And there's talk that they're going to have that. So I would love to see just that, because that's still important. There's a ton of great PS4 games, and for the people that care about the latest tech and the number of Ps and resolution and everything, all that kind of stuff, which is a lot of those early adopters, being able to show this existing library that can be just upgraded for this PS5, that'll go a long way. So I hope we see something about that. And like I said, something about the system. I don't think we'll see anything about PSVR yet, or they'll talk about it yet. It's kind of early, and PSVR is not going to be part of PS5, at least initially. We do know that they already said that PS5 will be backwards compatible with PSVR, as it is. And we also know that they're working on a new PSVR 2, new version of it. So I don't think we'll talk much about that, though. PS Now, I don't think they'll talk about it here in this particular forum, but it'll be interesting to know, service-wise, what they're going to do with the cloud gaming and how that's going to play with PS5. I'm sure it's going to be enhanced, and they're kind of going to go deeper and further with it, because they know Microsoft is going hard with xCloud, so we'll see. Beyond that, like I said, backwards compatibility. We're not going to get price. I don't think we'll get a specific release date yet either. Just show some cool games, and show the tech, and just show the system. I do want to see the system itself. Enough is enough. It's June. Usually by E3 is when we would see the actual system and what the system design will be. That was the case with PS4. That was the case with PS3. This will be E3. This is basically E3 time. So yeah, show us the design and kind of get that over with. And I hope it looks similar to the design that we see in the controller, because the controller to me looks awesome. I even like the white-black color scheme. It just looks very premium. So hopefully we get something in that vein, and I really want to see that. Let's just make this product, this PS5 product, feel real. And it's hard in this climate, right, with this pandemic and everything going on. Obviously, Sony's marketing plan for PS5 got completely derailed with all of the cancellations of every major gaming event, including E3, even though they wasn't going to E3 anyway. But they canceled PAX East back in February. They canceled GDC and whatever other plans they had. They had to rearrange their whole marketing rollout for the system. And obviously they're behind. Let's say, I think that's safe to say. So it's just been like this vaporware, right? That we've just been hearing about. Let's just make it real. Show us a system. It'd be great, like what Xbox did. Inviting Eurogamer. I mean, it was physical hardware there, right? They literally tore it down, and people got their hands on it. We were able to see the insides of it. So, Mark Sony did say that they would do a PlayStation teardown. Let's see the teardown. Let's see the actual physical system and design, and let's see somebody holding a controller and playing a game with it and see what that feels like. And again, let's see hear what developers are saying about it and what they're doing with their games for it, first party and third party. So that's what they can see. I do think that we're going to get some really big games and some really good surprises beyond what Microsoft showed. Like, for example, with their initial first glimpse of gameplay, which was basically just like a bunch of third parties, mostly indie third parties at that, just showing cross-gen games that are coming out already for PS4 and Xbox One, and they're going to have an Xbox Series X version. And I'm sure it's just going to be enhanced in terms of 4K, 60 frames per second, the usual. But I think with Sony, we're going to see games that are designed for PS5, designed purely for next gen in some cases, and that's exciting. That's awesome. But again, hopefully it's not just like an hour of just virtual trailer after trailer after trailer after trailer, right? Again, give us some more info on the system. Give us that marketing, talk about why the system is great. And not all the dry technical numbers necessarily, but why this thing is something that we want to buy, right? In 5 months, 5-6 months time. So that's what I hope, and what I expect for the most part, right? It's gonna be mostly games. I think we'll probably see the system, and they'll talk about some of the features, some of the really core features, and show us some examples. Hopefully, like even some tech demos of some of the core features about the SSD speeds. The haptic stuff and the controller features, that kind of stuff. Maybe some CPU, GPU kind of demos as well, maybe. But yeah, that's what I think. That's what I hope to see. Either way, it's exciting. We first heard about PS4 over a year ago now. PS5, right? Over a year ago now, officially. And there's been just a ton of rumors and leaks going back 2+ years, 3 years almost. So you just pent up, and it's time. It's time, right? PS4 is almost 7 years old. It's time to get to the next level with gaming. And yeah, I'm excited. Microsoft has done a lot to show a lot already for Series X, but there's still a lot they haven't talked about with their strategy. Sony and Microsoft obviously have two very, very different strategies going into this gen, which is really interesting as well. Sony is all about kind of creating a really, truly next gen experience, meaning an experience that is not something that we've experienced currently, and that the current hardware, the current systems cannot do. Whereas Microsoft is kind of more about, in their words, doing away with the concept of a generation in consoles. They want everything to kind of blend together and just kind of create one giant unified ecosystem of Xbox, which is why the system is called Xbox Series X, which implies there's going to be other series that may be higher spec, that may be lower spec, but they're all going to be playing the same games, and they're all going to be completely compatible with each other. So basically, like the PC model, right? You can get new hardware for your PC, but the PC as a platform has been the same for 3 decades, right? You can still run games that were made 20 years ago on your PC today, for the most part, right? And when you get like a brand new keyboard, you never have to worry about, oh, this keyboard is just not going to work on my PC that's 5 years old, or even 10 years old for that matter, right? So the PC has been very consistent and doesn't have a concept of generations, and that's where Xbox is kind of going. So yeah, we'll see how this plays out. But Sony PS5 event, June 11th, 4 p.m. Eastern, which is, I gotta wait my time to the end of the day, but really looking forward to it. I'll try to have a video up afterwards to kind of talk about my impressions of what was shown and what games were shown, etc. But here it is. Next gen is finally here. So thanks guys for watching the video. Hopefully I can get more content out for you guys. But please continue to support. Let me know. I promise I'll get stuff out faster and better if you guys let me know that you're there. Until next time, signing off. Thank you.